Now to a Channel 5 News investigation. A Valley woman says her rights as a tenant were violated.
Channel 5's Ryan Nelson takes a closer look.
On April 28th, the La Joya Housing Authority drafted and filed a 30-day eviction notice for Ashley Perez. Perez says she didn't find out she was being evicted until May 15th. By that time, she had 13 days to figure out her next move. Ashley Perez was prepared to move her family and her life out of her home today.
I've packed up and I've been ready. Probably live in my car, but at least I have my belongings.
La Joya Housing Authority hand delivers notices of service and maintenance directly to their tenant's door. Perez never got the eviction notice at the door. It showed up in the mail. Perez doesn't have a mailbox at her physical address. The notices of lease violation and lease termination arrived in her P.O. box on May 9th.
So there was no such number to the sender, and it was mailed back twice.
She learned the news when she checked her mail on May 15th. At that point in time, she had 13 days to act. The notice of lease violation said she could be evicted if it happened again. The notice of lease termination said her time in the unit was running out. La Joya Housing Authority issued this statement. The La Joya Housing Authority has reissued the lease violation and lease termination for tenant Ashley Perez dated today, May 26th. The violation and termination were reissued to alleviate any confusion in the wording of the initial lease violation. This was the resident's final notice that threatening and abusive conduct will not be tolerated towards staff or other residents on the property. It is the intent of the Housing Authority to pursue eviction as set forth in the notice of lease termination. The Housing Authority procedures and Texas state law governing the process are being adhered to. Channel 5 reached out to Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid for perspective. It's not illegal to send a warning and an eviction notice together, though it can be confusing for tenants.
So there's inconsistency, and on the one hand saying we intend to evict you in the future if you engage in the conduct, and on the other hand actually saying, well, we're going to evict you now for the past conduct.
The notice of lease violation included the scheduled date for an informal review hearing of May 4th. The date came and went before Perez ever knew she was being evicted.
The date it has there that it was returned back was May the 9th. So I had missed the informal hearing.
The Housing Authority then saying you're not going to get an informal hearing when it had scheduled the informal hearing for May 4th, and through no fault of her own, through no fault of the tenants, that letter wasn't actually accessible to her until May the 9th. And so in that particular case, she's deprived of her right to timely request a grievance hearing. There's no question about that.
We went to La Joya Housing Authority for comment. Their office was closed during their normal business hours of 1 to 5. Perez is opening a case with Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid. This afternoon, we received confirmation from La Joya Housing Authority. The eviction deadline is set for July 1st. The informal review hearing is now rescheduled for June 6th. Ryan Nelson, Channel 5 News at 10.
Fred Fuchs with Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid adds La Joya Housing Authority is in compliance with federal law. Federal regulations allow the Housing Authority to send the notice through the mail in lieu of hand delivering the notice to the door. He says they don't have to do both unless mandated by the leasing contract.